everybody, this is Ro. Welcome back to the Tequila Princess channel. As you can see, we have a different scenario this time. I decided to take a weekend away in a little cabin, but today I wanted to make a story time. To be honest, I only wanted to take advantage of this gorgeous fireplace and tell you a story with a glass of wine. A few days ago, I filmed the reaction to Sully, Miracle on the Hudson movie, and I was mentioning my water issues in that movie, and I promised that I was going to tell you the story. The thing is, I was very young and I don't really remember it, but my siblings and especially my mom remember it very well, and they have told me the story. It took us some time to realize that that was triggering my fears. So when I was about 2 months old, my family and I went to a trip to Cuernavaca near Mexico City, and we were at a hotel with the pool and everything. My sister is 11 years older than me, and my brother is 10 years older. They brought this inflatable kind of, that is just like, it resembled a boat, but they forgot to bring it. They forgot it at the room. So my brother ran back to the room to pick it up, and my sister told my mom that she was gonna be walking around the edge of the pool with me, like holding me. She was gonna be going in the child area, the shallow area. The problem is that this pool had the division in between the shallow area and the deeper area without marking. It was just a huge step. And my sister was walking around the edge of the pool with me on her arms when suddenly she just lost her footing. She just sank right into the deeper part of the pool with me on her arms. My sister did knew how to swim, but not holding a baby. I mean, she was 11 and I was a tiny little thing that was not even able to hold my head or move a lot. She started trying to get out and pull some air, and then went down and put me out, or at least she was trying to take me out so that I could breathe and hold it as much as she could with me out until she was running out of air, and she will pull me back down and she would come out, take some air, and again. My mom told me that she could see from the edge of the pool that my sister was trying to rise me up above the water, but she couldn't. She could see a tiny little layer of water on my face. So I never really came out. I never really breathed. My mom didn't try to go and save us because she doesn't know how to swim. So a gardener that was nearby saw that we were drowning, and he jumped into the water and took me out. My sister, as soon as she was relieved of me, she could just swim to the edge and get out of the pool by herself. So when they took me out of the water, I was already unconscious and I had a lot of water inside of my belly. They pushed it out and everything was fine. They took me to the doctor, of course, and the doctor said that because I was so young, there is a certain valve that divides your stomach and your lungs. Because I was so young, it was not yet mature. It didn't work properly, and that's what saved me. He said that if I had been 1 month older, or if I had been a few more seconds in the water, I would have died. It was just a little miracle of timing that I was alive. Past time, and I went to swimming school, and I did have some issues, but it was like no big deal. I could swim. I even learned how to swim underwater, but we didn't really practice much. We didn't go to the beach or pool places very often. So I kind of didn't forget, but lost practice. As a grown woman, whenever I go into the water, I can swim, I can move around the pool or whatever, but with my head out of the water. Because as soon as I feel it coming close to my nose, anxiety kicks in super strong. It's just like a very powerful need to pull my head out, like jumping into the water is something that I really, really hate because it makes all this chaos and bubbles and it doesn't help my anxiety. But I never really knew that was an issue until I started with the flight attendant job, where I was supposed to bring a swimming test. I was supposed to go to a place and ask someone for like a certification that said that I knew how to swim, but they didn't specify exactly what I needed. So to the place where I went, they knew it was for flight attendants, so they did all these crazy tests where they tried my resistance and my swimming techniques, and they gave me the certification that I knew how to swim. And everything they wanted at the airline was to know that I knew how to survive on the water on my own and that I didn't need someone to save me. But I didn't know, and the guy that did the test didn't know. But in that situation, I discovered I started feeling this very anxious feeling, desperation and frustration because I didn't want to go underwater, but I had to because I really wanted to be a flight attendant. I started talking about it with my mom, and that's when she told me, when you were drowning when you were a baby, I could see your face under the water. I could see your face. You were just a little bit underwater. It was like you never really surfaced. Maybe your brain remembers that, and that's why feeling water close to your nose is like, it's gonna happen again. And that kind of makes a lot of sense, And I mean, I can, if I have to, if I really, really have to, yes, I can go underwater, but it's a struggle and it drains a lot of energy from me, both during the trainings for water landing and during the periodical trainings after I got my license and I was already working as a flight attendant. It was just difficult, Knowing that every time that I have to practice the water landing, I had to jump into the water. It was very stressful for me. But I've been doing things that I consider help me to overcome this fear little by little. So as I have mentioned before, I lived in Playa del Carmen near Cancun for a little bit over 3 years, and I did things to try and manage my fears. I don't want to be overcome by them, I want to enjoy things. I would love to dive and see everything on the water, but just thinking about going not only a few centimeters but meters on the water, it just freaks me out. I don't think I can do that. I tried, for example, snorkeling. I did it twice. Once I was in a tour with a friend in Siancan, which is a beautiful natural reserve, and you have this area that is like super calm with a beautiful coral reef in very calm waters. So I actually did it. They explained how to do it, and I put on the visor and I put on the snorkel, and I managed to put my head under the water for a few minutes at a time. And I did it that time, and I was super proud of myself. So the next time that I went with a couple friends to Isla Mujeres, we took a catamaran tour, and it also included the chance for snorkeling. So when they say, let's do it, I was like, okay, last time was not that bad, I'll try it again, sure. But this time we were in the open ocean. The water was a little bit agitated, there was a lot of wind. It was so frustrating because I think I managed to put my head under the water twice for about 10 seconds each time and freaked out. I just couldn't. My visor was not tight enough because of these curls were not helping. I tried to tighten it a little bit more, but I was just freaking out. I was trying to stay like near to the instructor so that I could reach out to him and say, hey, help me out. And at some point I didn't realize at what time I just ran behind, and he was like super far, like maybe 5 meters away, and I just felt like instead of 5 meters it was like 50. I just wanted to get close to him and tell him that I was starting to have a panic attack and that I needed to get out of the water. And I remember one of my friends, she was like, hey, are you okay? Because I told them that I was not sure if I was gonna be able to do it. And I was like, no, No, I started breathing so heavy and I was just starting to panic, like literal panic. If you have never felt a panic attack, it's different for everyone, I guess, but in general, you start to feel like your lungs have lost more than half of the capacity to breathe, and you feel something super heavy on your chest. And in my case, I started to feel like the pounding of my heart in my I don't remember how you call this. And then I started to feel in the stomach also everything contracting, a very strong headache, and I just couldn't breathe and I couldn't get out of the water. I was starting to panic so bad. So she managed to get the attention of the instructor and he was like, "Is everything okay?" And I started like, no, I'm not okay. So he came close with one of these round flotation devices, like a swim ring, but a old-fashioned, very sturdy, heavy kind of thing. Heavy but floating heavily. I don't know how to say it. But that moment, I was already crying, and I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I just need to get out of the water." He was like, "Okay, don't worry. Hold on to this. We're very close to the boat. Breathe. Just try to breathe as calm and deeply as you can." We were not as close to the boat as I would have liked to. Took me a few more minutes to calm down and catch my breath again, be able to breathe properly, stop shaking, because by the time that I was out of the water, I was already shaking badly. And my friends were like, "We didn't know it was that bad." And I was like, "I didn't know it was that bad. Like, last time that I did it well." My fear took over me that time. But I'm not quitting. I will continue to try and win this battle against myself. We could say it is against myself and my own brain and my own most primal instinct of putting my head out. So I wanted to share this with you because I know there is a lot of people out there that also has strong fears. Maybe not phobias. I wouldn't call mine phobia, because if I really put my mind to it, I can overcome my fear to water on my face and also my fear to heights. I know there is a lot of people out there that feels like their fears are not valid, like their fears are silly, like their fears shouldn't be there. For people without phobias and without intense fears like mine, it's kind of really hard to understand that there can be something inside of your brain powerful enough to avoid certain things. For them, it's just like, well, just don't think about it, or don't look down. I wish it were that easy. You know, it's something that a lot of people cannot understand, and they think that we just don't want to. And I think that my final message would be that if you have an intense fear or if you have a phobia, you should know that it is okay, that it is normal, that there is a lot of people out there who has them. Of course, we don't like it, and we wish we could just get rid of those things, but we can work little by little to face our fears and to not let them overcome us. Maybe you will not overcome them, maybe you will not really get over it, but maybe you can control it so that it doesn't get bigger, because with age they get worse. You don't have to face your fears with huge steps and big jumps. At least feel that you are in control, not your fear. Your fear is not going to be controlling you, it's going to be you controlling your fear. And that is the feeling that we really want to go for. So I hope that this video, very weird and random video, can help you find the little motivation. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also click the notifications bell so that you can be the first one to see my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week.